Hey guys, Retro here with another Warlander video, and thanks to PlayOn we have got a first look at this before its beta launch. So here I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on the easiest way to win your matches. Now these work for me personally and hopefully they work for you too, but obviously you can adapt it to your playstyle. Now first off is your journey and pathway to the opponent's castle. What you want to do is take one of the two side routes. The reason being that most times a lot of the enemy teams forget about this, and you might be able to pop off one or two people and potentially build that kill streak. On top of this, I also found it very easy to obtain the towers there to then help more of your team move forward. The towers play such an important part in the strategy, mainly because if you die, this is therefore then a respawn point. So you want to get a lot of these very quickly, so it enables your team to move forward rather than having to go from the beginning of the game. Now as you're making your way down these paths, what you want to ensure is that you have taken a squad mate. But for this, ensure that either yourself or your teammate is a tank character and the other person is a sort of medic support character. Upon moving forward, make sure the support character stays a little bit back and distance, especially when using moves with giant cooldowns, but ensure they follow you and keep on your track throughout. What this means is if you do come across a big bunch of enemies rather than just one or two, you can retreat backwards and also have your medic support you. Their job is now not to attack or push forward, but in fact just be a safety net behind and healing you at every point that they can. But as mentioned before, please be aware of the cooldowns and make sure you take a few steps at a time. With the medic not having as much health, they do need to stay out of the way, but that's also why you should be a tank and be the one making all the attacks. On top of this, when you manage to reach the castle itself, more often than not the sides are forgotten about. To climb the sides, these do take a little bit of time because you may need to build the ladders, but then you can also use your teammate to keep an eye in case anyone comes up the side of the castle. And as I mentioned a few times, don't be afraid to track back a little bit just to keep your safety, and then push forward when things look a little empty. You'll have your kill streak in no time and hopefully have racked up those points for the end too, so that you can get the highest ranking. Next up is the Idol of Cataclysm. This will randomly appear in your map halfway through the match, and also might be a random location. This is essentially a giant robot statue which you can use to attack bases very quickly and with a large skill. The best thing about this is that you can actually use it with your teammates, as each squad member takes a specific part of the robot. You will have your main person driving the robot, and then your others can take the turrets on the arms on either side. It's sort of like the ultimate transformer. You can use this as a shield, but you can also use it as the main function to push forward towards the castle, as you can just storm through groups of enemies at once. The Cataclysm itself also has a lot of armor, so it does take a little bit of a while to be destroyed. Do be wary though that whilst it is a little bit slower, you may also not be able to go through certain pathways as it is quite a wide vehicle. But maybe you can always use this to your advantage and hide behind it too. Finally is something I mentioned a little bit earlier, and that's the towers themselves. Capturing them is very, very important and allows your team to teleport when respawning closer throughout the map. So make sure to try and capture these when you can. Alongside this, it also enables you to push forward at quite an aggressive rate. Whilst that usually gets you killed in other games, this actually managed to make us finish a match in a couple of minutes. You just have to play it smartly in a giant group and hope you don't come across any of the enemy's turrets. So just as much as choosing a strategy whether to attack or defend, just having a full-blown attack has worked in favour. But as always, each map is a little bit different, and each strategy and team is also different as well. So you might not always get people working together, but you can cross your fingers and hope. That's it for some of the things that worked for myself, and hopefully they will work for you too. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my other Warlander videos. Till next time.